Good evening. I'm David Swotek, and our sports ticker is brought to you by the 1890 Initiative. Nebraska's athletic director Trev Alberts announced he will become a Texas A&M Aggie. Alberts will be in the same position there as athletic director. University of Nebraska interim president Chris Kaborik announced that he appointed executive associate athletic director Dennis LeBlanc as the new interim athletic director. LeBlanc has spent 40 years with the Huskers, and Kaborik says he is starting a national search for a permanent athletic director. Husker Till Steinforth was named Big Ten Field Athlete of the Year today. The junior from Saxony-Anhalt, Germany, competes in the heptathlon and long jump. Steinforth is a four-time USTF CCCA first-team All-American, three-time Big Ten champion, and holds 2 Nebraska school records. This is the third year in a row that Nebraska won the Big Ten Men's Indoor Field Athlete of the Year, with Jonah Wilson earning it in 2023 and Berger Labreche Jr. in 2022. Nebraska women's basketball head coach Amy Williams invites all Husker fans to Pinnacle Bank Arena for the NCAA Tournament Selection Show on Sunday, March 17th. Doors open at 6 p.m. with Husker Radio Network personality Matt Coatney hosting a program at 6:30 p.m. His program includes special videos, introductions of the Huskers team, and speeches from the players and head coach, Amy Williams. The selection show starts at 7 p.m. and will be played in PBA on a lowered center video cube. And finally, let's take a look at men's Big Ten tournament basketball scores. Number 8, Michigan State took on number 9, Minnesota. After a tough battle, Michigan State claimed their victory 77-76 and will play number 1, Purdue tomorrow. Number 5, Wisconsin faced off against number 12, Maryland. The Badgers pulled through with the W 87-56 and will play number 4, Northwestern tomorrow. Number 7, Iowa, and number 10, Ohio, are battling it out right now. And the Buckeyes have the lead 31-28 with 5.5 minutes left in the first half. The winner of that game will play number 2, Illinois, tomorrow afternoon. And number 6, Indiana, and number 11, Penn State, play later tonight at 8 p.m. The winner of that game will play Nebraska tomorrow night. Our sports ticker is sponsored by the 1890 Initiative. Do you want to support Husker student athletes through name, image, and likeness? If so, visit 1890nebraska.com. Coming up next is the first hour of Sports Nightly, right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Bryce Williams puts his head down, drives the ball, third defender comes, can't score it. Put back in on a tip dunk, high in the air above the cylinder, with a jam with the right hand. Jawan Gary.
Runners second and third, 2 outs. 1-2 the count. The pitch from Chambers. Cope golfs one to center and deep. Going back Delgadillo, and it's gone! 3-run home run, Emerson Cope. Make it 5-2 Nebraska.
Brian Webb with the 3-0 pitch. Drilled into center field. Long run again for Verduzco. Onto the track. Looking up, and it is gone! Home run, Josh Caron's second home run of the night. This one a 3-run blast to right center field.
Shelley throws down low. Markowski kicks it out to Jazz. Knocked away by Marshall. 7 to shoot, 6 to shoot. Shelley for 3. You betcha! Huskers take their first lead of the game with 30 seconds left.
Here is your host, Jessica Coody, on the Huskers Radio Network.
Hi, everyone, and welcome into the show. Greg Sharpe has the night off, so I'll be with you here for the next couple of hours. We got a couple of great guests lined up for you coming up on the show tonight. Amy Williams will be joining us here in just a few minutes to talk some Husker women's hoops, coming off their incredible run in the Big Ten tournament up in Minneapolis, all the way to the championship game, but also to preview the NCAA tournament. Also, we'll hear from Callin Hake from women's basketball coming up in hour number 2. And Ben McLaughlin will join us also in hour number 2 to talk some Husker baseball. Another home series coming up this weekend against Nichols for Will Bolt's crew. And we will be checking in on softball. They're in action right now. And also big matchup tonight in the Big Ten tournament as we await to see who the Huskers will be playing in their first game of the tournament after getting that double bye. They play tomorrow night, so we will be awaiting their opponent. We'll find out after this game that's playing right now between Iowa and Ohio State. So between Penn State and Indiana, we will find out. We'll anxiously await to see who the opponent is for the Huskers. But not to bury the lead here. Wow, what a crazy 24 hours for Husker athletics. When we signed off the show on Monday night, never in a million years did I think I would be sitting here tonight talking on the show about how Trev Alberts is leaving and becoming the athletics director at Texas A&M. But here we are. Let's talk about it. And as always, if you want to be a part of the show tonight with a text or a call, 402-413-2400 is that number to text or call in. But just about an hour ago, and David had this in the ticker, but we did receive an email from interim President Chris Kaborik announcing that Dennis LeBlanc will be the interim athletics director. He had sent the email yesterday shortly after Trev Alberts had emailed the athletics staff announcing that he was leaving, that he would move quickly to announce that interim AD, and we did. We got that news really quickly, and what a great choice, what a great selection in Dennis LeBlanc. He has been here a long time. He is so great to work with, and I think for a lot of people that were maybe speculating who it might be, I think he was at the top of the list for a lot of people around here in leading us during this time. But I did want to read to you some of that email that we got from President Kaborik. One thing I've learned in my 27 years here is that the university is bigger than any one person. And today I'm pleased to tell you that we are moving forward into our next chapter of leadership. Dennis LeBlanc, Executive Associate AD for Academics and a 40-year veteran of Husker Athletics, has graciously agreed to serve as interim athletic director while we conduct a national search for a permanent leader. I know he will provide the steady hand, calm voice, and trusted leadership that we need during this transition period. Dennis loves Nebraska. He cares deeply about our student athletes, and he has delivered results throughout his career with us. That includes a record-setting graduation success rate, record GPAs, and consistent rankings among the nation's best in a range of academic performance metrics. Husker Athletics will be in good hands under Dennis's leadership. Leadership of Husker Athletics, like any leadership position at the University of Nebraska, is truly one of the best jobs in the country. I have every confidence our AD position will attract an exceptional candidate pool, that we will find a bold, visionary leader who will keep the Huskers competitive well into the future. The college athletics landscape is complex and changing rapidly, as we all know. The good news is Nebraska is positioned at the forefront thanks to an outstanding team of coaches and staff who have put us in an incredible trajectory. I can't thank you enough for the work you do each and every day to support our student athletes and help Nebraska compete on and off the field. So again, that was a part of that email that we received from Chris Kaborik announcing Dennis LeBlanc will serve as the interim AD as the search is on now, a national search is on to find the next leader of Nebraska athletics. But no doubt, I, like most of you, I was extremely shocked and disappointed, quite frankly, just in the timing of it. There's a lot of incredible things going on right now, and that news a little bit put a damper on things. I initially thought there's no way this can be true, and followed along throughout social media, and as the day went along, the reports kept coming in, and then the initial, I guess, the details of his deal at Texas A&M, and I just was thinking, oh, maybe this is leverage, maybe some negotiating going on, but then it became official as we received that email from Trev around 4:45 yesterday afternoon announcing that he was leaving, and then it became official from Texas A&M about 5:20. But, we can speculate. I think that's the big question that everybody is asking, why and why now, and it seems all of a sudden, and he had the contract extension last November and just, again, seemed to be a Husker till the end, and I think we were all a bit confused and still trying to ask that question, why, and we can speculate and dive into that all day long, but I think kind of what Chris Kaborik hit on in that email is just so true. And while the leadership of the AD is absolutely critical for an athletics department, and especially during this time, what's also really crucial are the leaders that you have at the coaching positions and the individual leaders at the helms of these programs. And I just can't say enough and how much confidence and respect and faith I have in the coaching, the pool of coaches that are here at Nebraska leading the Huskers in their individual programs that you could argue are as good and even better in better states than they've been throughout the history of their programs. And these are coaches, a lot of them, that have been through athletics director changes before and have navigated through this before. And so, you look at someone like Rhonda Revelle and John Walker, I believe this will be their 7th AD. John Cook, and look at those programs. Soccer just went to an Elite Eight, won a Big Ten title. Nebraska volleyball, national runner-up, Big Ten champions, and no doubt will be a favorite to compete for both conference and national titles next season. Jordy Ball didn't come here for an athletics director, and she'll be here. She's best player, arguably one of the best players in college softball. She'll be here next spring as well. The list goes on. And then not to mention the 2 basketball programs that are headed to the NCAA tournament. So, yeah, it definitely is not ideal, but when is it ideal to lose an athletics director? But I just, I kind of hone in on the fact that we have great leaders within the programs, that are coaches that are leading the programs, and that's the reason why we're in such a great state right now, are those coaches and the work that they've done with their individual programs. But there's also great leaders like Dennis LeBlanc that are within this athletics department that have also been through this transition before. I guess, unfortunately, but fortunately, have been through this before and certainly know how to navigate through this time. So, I guess for me, I still kind of lean on that and am hopeful that we will still continue on this trajectory as we look for the next leader of Nebraska athletics. But there are certainly great people that are still in place here that will help Nebraska navigate through this time. All right, we're going to work in our first break here on Sports Nightly, but coming up next, we're going to talk a little Husker women's basketball with the head coach of Nebraska women's basketball, Amy Williams. So keep it here, and see a couple texts rolling in, so we will get to those on the other side of Amy Williams on our Woodhouse Auto Family hotline. Woodhouse Auto Family is your trusted auto partner with 20 brands and 20 convenient sales and service locations. We're making car buying on your terms. Visit us online at woodhouse.com.
It's Ford Truck Month, and we're celebrating 47 years as the best-selling trucks in America with special once-a-year offers on Ford F-Series, including the new 2024 Ford F-150 and Ford Super Duty, the North American Truck of the Year. It's time to celebrate America. This is Ford Truck Month. Get 1.9% financing for 72 months plus $1,000 bonus cash on F-150 plus a 5-year 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
NDOT Companies is proud to support Husker athletics. As a leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Sunnyside Exarban, and row house townhomes on Leavenworth. NDOT Companies is adding Omaha's first hybrid timber building to the skyline. Soon to follow is Builders Green Park, surrounded by mouth-watering food, exciting retail, and a hub of thriving businesses. NDOT Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Go Huskers!
I just remember leaving that day feeling absolutely exhausted. I was sick and tired of living that double life.
Mike is a former problem gambler.
The anxiety, the depression is real. You start thinking about the money, where that could have went to. It's never enough. I could win $10 million today, and I'd go back and try to win 20 tomorrow.
Help for problem gambling is free for Nebraskans and their families at lifeafterbet.com.
Don't miss out on limited-time appliance deals during the closeout event at Lowe's. Get up to 35% off select major appliances. Plus, save an extra $100 when you spend $999 or more on all major appliances. Hurry, these deals are too good to last long. Shop in-store or online today, because Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid 1/4 through 1/24. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. See Lowe's.com for details.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Hi, this is Husker National Champion and Super Bowl champ Tony Veland. Throughout my football career, chiropractic care helped my athletic performance on the field and kept me in the game. Today, regular chiropractic care keeps me healthy and active to do the things I love. Chiropractic is safe and effective for all ages. Make chiropractic your first choice to reduce pain, improve your mobility, and feel better naturally. It works for me, and it can work for you too. Learn more at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Stay active with chiropractic.
NDOT Companies is proud to support Husker athletics. As a leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Sunnyside Exarban, and row house townhomes on Leavenworth. NDOT Companies is adding Omaha's first hybrid timber building to the skyline. Soon to follow is Builders Green Park, surrounded by mouth-watering food, exciting retail, and a hub of thriving businesses. NDOT Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Go Huskers!
Hey Huskers, it's a new day in Nebraska. Manzer Equipment, Mertz Farm Equipment, and West Point Implement of Columbus have teamed up as True Ag and Turf. Coach Rule is bringing innovation and high-performance standards to Husker football, and True Ag is doing the same to your farm with game-changing Fendt equipment. As Big Red establishes power on the field, True Ag and Turf does the same in the field by welcoming Fendt to Nebraska.
For farmers, productivity isn't an option, it's everything. And at Valley, we feel the same, delivering game-changing technology and irrigation solutions that advance agricultural productivity, with the results to prove it. From our leading irrigation technology to expert advice, you can always rely on Valley to bring out the best in your farm. At Valley, productivity isn't an option, it's everything. Visit your local Valley dealer or valleyirrigation.com today.
It's time for another round of Nebraska Farm Facts. If there's one thing Nebraska's known for, it's our beef. And Nebraska soybeans feed a lot of them, and even more pigs and chickens. Farmers and ranchers raise livestock and poultry to provide nutritious, affordable protein for all ages to help build muscle and maintain energy for a healthy lifestyle. Keep that in mind as you prepare all that tasty meat on your tailgate grill. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
There's no community like a Cenex community, and that's why every Cenex store is so proud to serve theirs by supporting local athletic teams, promoting the arts, and making sure each store is a place its neighbors can find what they need, catch up with their friends, and stay connected. It's also why we give back, helping to make the wonderful places we call home the best they can be. Your local Cenex doesn't just work in your town, it lives there. The store next door, powered locally at Cenex.
Welcome back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, which is sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. As we welcome you back to Sports Nightly, it's time for our weekly chat with the head coach of Nebraska women's basketball, Amy Williams. Well, Coach, let me first of all congratulate you. What a magical run you guys just went on. That had to be special to be a part of that, what you guys did up there in Minneapolis in the Big Ten tournament.
Yeah, really special, just an emotional tournament, and just so proud of our team and the way they competed, laid it all on the line. You could just see they were playing with each other, for each other, and you know, tough to come up short. We just, you know, were right there in that championship game, but I couldn't be more proud of a team.
You know, you had said that you guys believed going into it, and I talked to Callin, Hake earlier this week, and you guys went up there fully believing that you guys could do something special. What was it about what you were seeing from your team going into that tournament that you felt like, okay, they're ready to make a special run?
Well, we know that when we're playing our best basketball, we can beat the best teams in the country, and we had done that here at home when we knocked off number 2 Iowa. So I think that created a confidence and a belief that if we can put the pieces all together, and we'd been seeing great things out of lots of different players from our roster, being able to find ways to contribute, starting to really figure out the things that they each bring to the table when we're our best version of ourselves. And so just seeing that come to fruition a little bit down the stretch here, and you know, gave us that confidence heading into the tournament that we could really make a run.
Jazz Shelley, obviously, Alexis Markowski both make the all-tournament team, but, you know, some of the things that Jazz is doing, and we've talked a lot about her since you've been coming on your show every week, but, man, it just seems like this is a player that's realizing her career, her college career is coming to an end, and she's not leaving anything to chance.
Yeah, she was incredibly special. She's been incredibly special for 3 years in our program, but to watch it really kind of peak out, you know, so far here down the stretch of her final season is just really rewarding. She's put in so much work, and through the highs and lows of a season, through the highs and lows of a career, sometimes you get people wavering on their commitment level, but Jazz never wavers. She continues to study film at a high level, you know, be on a rigid routine. She's very diligent about getting her extra shots in and extra shots up, and that comes with earned confidence. And I think that we're watching that earned confidence continue to trickle to the rest of her team. And the influence that she's had on our entire roster is immense.
You know, I've talked to a few of your players throughout the season, and they all go back and have mentioned at some point or another watching the film, going and watching the scout and diving into that and just really being a student of the game. Have you had a team that to this level wants to study the game and wants to dive into scouts like this?
You know, I really haven't. This is a very unique team, and because of that, you know, every year as a coach, you feel out your team, like what tends to motivate, what tends to work well. And this particular team, I would say, we have way longer film sessions than we've had in the past, but their attention level is higher. It's a very high IQ team that's very scout oriented and very capable of taking in scouting report information and processing that in a quick time manner in short preps. And that was proven again with less than 24 hours between some of our games up there at the Big Ten tournament. But it's a group that, you know, can keep their focus for an hour of film in, you know, preparation or whatever it might be. And they definitely are excited and willing to come in and delve into film on themselves and wanting to see and study and read the game to become the best versions of themselves. So we've really just kind of tapped into that. This is a team that can respond well to that. So we've done a lot more of that than we have in the past.
How much has that played into their efforts on the defensive end and what you're seeing, some of the performances that you guys have put together on the defensive end?
Yeah, I think that's a huge part of it, is that they are high IQ enough to be able to know what kinds of things it's going to take for us to be able to try to hold our opponents below their scoring averages. And the other big thing about that is we've got some fighters, you know, team that wants to compete, that wants to play hard, that wants to buck up and do the dirty work. And not every team wants to do that, but this is a team that wants to do whatever it takes to be able to be successful. And so I think those two things coupled together have led to us being able to put together some pretty good defensive performances throughout this season.
I got to imagine as a coach, it's one of the biggest goals, priorities is to get a team that's starting to play their best basketball this time of year. And the things that you start to do in November, December really come to fruition now. And so when you've got all these players that are buying into their role and wanting to do whatever possible, and then it all comes together and it ends up being a big reason why you guys are able to make the run is you have so many contributors that are doing whatever they can do. How special is that as a coach when you do have those players that are coming off the bench doing whatever they can do and everybody's doing their part to try to put this thing all together?
Well, it's really special because I vividly remember sitting in the locker room after our Kansas loss in December and just really spending a lot of time talking to our team about how we respond to this loss right now is going to define what the future looks like for this team and this program. And knowing that in those moments where there's, you know, every season comes with some highs and lows and high points and low points and adversity and, you know, but teams have a choice in those moments to really lock in and focus on the next best step or to crumble and allow it to, you know, to create fractions. And I think that this team has proven that, you know, through all the highs and lows, they wanted to stay together, have a positive response to whatever comes our way. And that has allowed us to be in a situation where we've just continued to get better and better and better and peak out, hopefully here as we head into the most important tournament.
They really like each other, too. You know, you could see it just on the bench, and this has been throughout the season when I've talked to players, how well they celebrate each other, and they're so happy for each other's successes. But we talked to Callin. She had said that they had just had a bachelor watch party the night before, and this is coming off when they were together nonstop at the Big Ten tournament. That's also just got to be just so special to see as a coach that this is a team that really, really loves each other and wants to be around each other, even despite probably, you know, most teams at this point, like, hey, I need a little bit of a break from you guys.
Yeah, it gives me chills to think about, you know, we come home from that tournament. Like you said, we had lots of tight time together while we were in Minneapolis, and we come home to spring break and a couple of days off to heal our bodies after 4 games in 4 days. And all I can hear about is they're planning, taco night and, bachelor watch parties together, and just they're craving just, spending as much time together as they possibly can here down the stretch. I really credit players like Maddie Kroll and Annika Stewart, who are seniors with their last run with us, of just being outstanding leaders and understanding, how special these moments are and how quickly and fast they come and go. So being able to really embrace these moments together and to keep everybody having fun and enjoying them. And I just think it's really good leadership.
You guys are pretty emotional after that loss. You talk a lot about response. How has this team responded coming off an emotional loss in the championship game?
I could not be more proud of the way they've responded. I think obviously that was emotional, that was hard. We really had a very good chance to come away as Big Ten tournament champions and fell short of that goal. But I think it's so fitting that we've been all year really just emphasizing response, and we've had some other instances throughout the season where we've set goals for ourselves and maybe fell just a little short of that. But what are you going to do in life when you set goals for yourself and maybe come up a little short? You don't quit, you don't give up, you don't crumble, you don't let it break you. You refocus, you set new goals, you find ways to become productive by working towards the next best step. And I think that's what this team is doing and has done. And they've got just a great attitude, and we're excited about the opportunities that are still in front of us.
Here you guys are in another huge, massive TV audience and record that you break in terms of viewership. And I understand that Caitlin Clark was playing that game, but Caitlin Clark has played a lot of games this season, and you guys have broken now multiple records when you're playing them. And just the way that Husker Nation was following along with you guys, and I know they had it was kind of almost like a road game, but just the way that you guys captivated Husker Nation, the way that they got behind you guys, it had to fuel you a little bit, knowing the people, the kind of support that you had and people paying attention and watching you guys throughout that run.
Well, it absolutely does. It's just there's no place quite like Husker Nation and the way that this fan base has supported our team. But I feel like this is a team that's worthy of that support. I just am so proud of the way that they fight and compete, and they lay it all on the line, and they do it in a classy way, and just represent our university at the highest level and standards, but continue to show that they are fighters. And I think that's the Husker way, that's the Nebraska way, and that's something that I think this state, this fan base, this university, can really be excited getting behind. And I think we captivated a lot of people's attention and picked up some new fans along the way.
Absolutely did. Okay, so your assistant coach, Jessica Keller, put out a thread on social media, putting out the arguments of this team and getting off that 8-9 seed and that they're deserving of a higher seed. If you could give me your pitch to why this team does deserve that higher seed and should be worthy of that, and people should pay attention to the things that you guys have done.
Yeah, I mean, I think what a great thread by Coach Keller, just well thought out. We are well aware that the tournament committee has such incredibly hard decisions to make down the stretch, but obviously from our seat, I thought Jessica was well thought out and very factual with her points that she made in her thread. But I think when you just look at like the last 10 ball games, and we're 7-3 in those games, we knocked off #2 team in the nation with Iowa. Our only 3 losses have come on the road at #2 Ohio State, to Iowa in the Big Ten championship game in overtime, and a 1-point loss on the road at Illinois. So I think when you look at how competitive the Big Ten Conference is and how well we're playing right now, the fact that our team plays really exciting brand of basketball with outstanding court vision leadership from a player like Jazz Shelley, and workhorse that anchors us inside with Alexis Markowski. We are capable of playing inside, outside, having great balance, putting up points, being a real scrappy, aggressive team. I just think that we've definitely done enough, and the fact that of those wins down the stretch, 7 of our last 10 coming 3 of those coming against other NCAA tournament teams with Maryland, Michigan, Michigan State. We really feel like we're capable of beating anybody in that tournament field, and exactly what the NCAA tournament committee wants and looks for, and should be rewarded with a great seed.
Okay, so what goes into this week now that you don't know who you're playing, but you know that you're in the tournament? How do you guys navigate preparing and working on yourself and getting your team ready for another hopefully special run?
Yeah, it's really just such a special time for us as coaches, because number one, you know, we get some time with our team and really to focus on cleaning up some things that we want to be able to get better at ourselves. And that's such a luxury this time of year, because everything has been, you know, prep. And, you know, you're constantly, you know, talking about what you need to do to be successful against the next opponent. But to have a few days here to just be able to work on some skills, really get back to, you know, getting lots of shots up, you know, working on defensive closeouts, you know, ball screen coverages, things that, you know, we really want to shore up and be better at, regardless of who our opponent's going to be. To have a few days of that and to work on some situational type stuff, then that will all kind of play out till we'll probably have one more day off on Saturday, and then Sunday practice, and then have the selection show that we're really excited to be able to participate with our fan base and find out who that opponent will be, and then the preparation begins.
Yeah, so that I was going to get to that big watch party coming up on Sunday inside Pinnacle Bank Arena. You guys want to be able to share that with your fans that have helped you guys protect home court all season long.
Yeah, we really left it up to our team about how they wanted to celebrate this, and it was a unanimous choice that, you know, our players are so incredibly grateful to this incredible fan base and all they've meant to us. Obviously, we've seen outstanding increases in attendance and you know, averaging over 6,000 people for home games at Pinnacle Bank Arena, which is like a 33% increase from, you know, 2 years ago when we were top 15 in the nation. So, you know, I mean, just incredible support that we've gotten all season. And our team wants to be able to celebrate that moment and share it with our fans. And so, of course, we're going to do that. We're excited to do that. And we're really proud to be able to have them share with us that moment.
So doors open at 6, and then the selection show gets started at 7. Matt Coatney will be on the mic, so it should be a fun time. I can't let you get out of here without asking you about Coach Hoiberg and Fred Hoiberg getting co-coach of the year. On Monday, he came in here, and the first thing that he said was just how much they used you guys' run to inspire them going into their final game of the season. And he was so proud of you guys and wanted to give you, you know, your props and credit. But I know you feel the same way about him, and they're now hopefully going to go do what you guys did in Minneapolis.
Yes, so excited to watch their run to begin, and you know, fortunately they did everything they needed to take care of business down the stretch to put themselves in the best position with the double bye. And you know, we've kept in close contact throughout the season, just really celebrating each other's successes. But I'm telling you, such a well-deserved honor for Fred Hoiberg to be co-coach of the year in this league. And I could tell it from this summer when I would walk down that hall and hear the practices, just hearing the energy that was exuding from that gym, from clear back in their summer training this summer, that this was going to be a really special group. And to watch that come to fruition, and to see the patience and perseverance that he and his staff has had to put together this really special team. It's been so fun. We've learned so much from them, and just so excited to have that momentum coming from both programs over there at Hendricks.
It's a fun time. Both these teams, you're talking about both these teams, you know, competing in March Madness. In the grand scheme of college basketball, there are very few programs that are sitting in this position that Nebraska is, with both these teams in the position that they're in right now.
Yeah, we feel really excited about that. I think it's just a great time for basketball in the state of Nebraska, particularly at the University of Nebraska, and just excited for Fred and his team, and excited for Nebraska women's basketball. My staff has worked incredibly hard, but this group of young women is just special, and I'm so excited to have one more run with them.
Coach, we're looking forward to it. And again, we'll find out what the destination is coming up on Selection Sunday, this Sunday. And again, fans want to be a part of it inside Pinnacle Bank Arena. They're opening it up to you guys. 6 o'clock, those doors open. Coach Amy Williams, appreciate your time. Best of luck as you guys head towards the postseason.
Thanks, Jess.
And we're going to take a break here on Sports Nightly. Keep it right here. Much more to come.
Hi, this is Husker National Champion and Super Bowl champ Tony Veland. Throughout my football career, chiropractic care helped my athletic performance on the field and kept me in the game. Today, regular chiropractic care keeps me healthy and active to do the things I love. Chiropractic is safe and effective for all ages. Make chiropractic your first choice to reduce pain, improve your mobility, and feel better naturally. It works for me, and it can work for you too. Learn more at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Stay active with chiropractic.
Purchasing your next car, truck, or SUV from Woodhouse Ford is easier than ever thanks to our streamlined buying process. Shop our current inventory and offers going on now and experience the convenience of buying with Woodhouse Ford today. Save up to $11,000 off MSRP on the 2023 Ford F-150 XLT plus 1.9% APR for 72 months. With approved credit, vehicle is a retired courtesy. Stock number T232516. $299 doc fee due at signing. Offer expires 3/31/2024. See dealer for details.
Pizza's here.
Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Maybe your hometown celebrates long-standing Swiss traditions. Cow chip throwing. Or even classic car muscle. Everyone has a hometown, and every hometown has a festival. Cenex wants to hear about yours. That's why we're launching the Hometown Throwdown. Tell us about your fest, and it could win $100,000. Learn more at CenexHometownThrowdown.com. Cenex, powered locally.
Other irrigation companies are finally discovering what T&L Irrigation is known for decades. Continuous movement is the best way to irrigate. While they'll have you pay for complicated upgrades to get steady, even water application with their high-voltage electric systems, all T&L Irrigation pivots and linears are propelled safely and smoothly by powerful hydrostatic drive. Continuous movement isn't new, it's the T&L standard. Don't get talked into a reinvented wheel. Pick the proven original. Call your T&L Irrigation dealer today or visit TLIRR.com. T&L, like no other.
Hey Huskers, it's a new day in Nebraska. Manzer Equipment, Mertz Farm Equipment, and West Point Implement of Columbus have teamed up as True Ag and Turf. Coach Rule is bringing innovation and high-performance standards to Husker football, and True Ag is doing the same to your farm with game-changing Fendt equipment. As Big Red establishes power on the field, True Ag and Turf does the same in the field by welcoming Fendt to Nebraska.
Get ready to rule the field and revolutionize your farming game with Valley, the game changer in irrigation and ag tech solutions. With time and labor-saving measures, ground truthing results, and effective input reduction, Valley provides the perfect game plan so you stay ahead of what's in the field. From the best in irrigation and cutting-edge ag tech solutions to personalized support, Valley is your winning team. Visit your local Valley dealer or valleyirrigation.com today.
That's the best way I could describe how it felt for me when I would walk out of either the casino or the Keno parlor, is that you just felt that wave of heat, that wave of oppression kind of hit you, that wave of dread.
Mike is a former problem gambler.
Right away, you would always know that that drive home would be the worst moments of why. Why did I do this again? Why can't I stop this?
Help for problem gambling is free for Nebraskans and their families at lifeafterbet.org. groundworks.com.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks. Foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
Woodhouse Auto Family is your trusted auto partner with 20 brands and 20 convenient sales and service locations. We're making car buying on your terms. Visit us online at woodhouse.com. Welcome back to Sports Nightly. Appreciate Amy Williams stopping by. So excited to watch this team in the postseason. And again, reminder, hey, if you want to come celebrate with this team as they are announced on Selection Sunday. I loved what she had to say about this team, and it was unanimous that, hey, Husker Nation, we want to celebrate with them. So they're going to have a selection show party on Sunday inside PBA, and you're welcome to attend. Those doors open at 6. Also hoping that the men are hearing where they are now, or where they are going. They'll still be in Minneapolis, I guess is what I'm saying. I'm hoping that when the selection show happens for the men's basketball tournament, that Nebraska men are still up in Minneapolis, because that means they will have just played in the championship game and will have heard there. But yeah, so go ahead and mark that on your calendars if you want to be a part of that on Sunday inside Pinnacle Bank Arena. Doors open at 6. And Rick from Wahoo said, Coach Williams, I'm proud of you and your team this year. You made the games on TV joyful to watch. Good luck and in the NCAA tournament. Yeah, absolutely. You know, I mentioned this to Coach Williams, but I understand the Caitlin Clark effect, and everybody talks about it. But there's a reason why when Nebraska plays Iowa, that those are some of the record-breaking viewership numbers. It's not all Caitlin Clark when Nebraska and Iowa play each other. So that was a fun game, and I know it didn't go the Huskers' way. They were disappointed, and you could see the emotion on their face in their post-game presser and in the locker room. It was a devastated locker room because they had it. They wanted it really bad. But it was a great basketball game, and I think the Huskers have a lot to build off of, a lot of confidence that they can take away from that run. I think they put a lot of things together, and so they'll be able to build off of that moving forward into the NCAA tournament. Got a few other texts to get to here on our text line. Art in Los Angeles, hi, with Trev leaving. Does this mean some of the projects will be canceled? I hope so, because taking out seats and renovations like that to the stadium is a very bad idea. GBR, I don't know about the whole plans with the stadium, if that will change, but you know, whoever else comes in might have different tweaks and different plans that they want to put in place to the stadium if it moves forward with the reconstruction and how it's done. You know, I mean, it was a vision, I know, of Trev and the team that he had put together, but if a new leader comes in and has different visions, then that might change. But I can't say one way or another if it just means that will go away. I'm sure that will be one of the first things that will be talked about as they navigate through this time. Dr. J in Kearney says, Trav left the department in a better place than he found it. Appreciate that text. Certainly it's in a great spot. And yeah, you can credit a lot of it to Trev Alberts and the work that he did, but you also got to give kudos to this coaching staff that's in place here. That have done a great job with their programs and have put together some great teams, like Coach Hoiberg, Coach of the Year, that has done just an incredible job with his team this season. Rich from Harlan County says, I guess it's the age of NIL students, 80 university leadership. Where is the loyalty to the university and the program? One person stood loyal to the program over the years. Thank you, Dr. Tom Osborne. Thank you, current and long-term coaches, for staying loyal to UNL. Yeah, there's a few of those. I mean, I mentioned those in the first segment. Rhonda Revelle, I think, is her 32nd season. Coach Walker with soccer has been here since the 90s. John Cook was hired in 2000. So you've got some long-term coaches that have been here and certainly been loyal to this program. DJ from Kansas says, I'm very disappointed with Alberts. Even if he was banging heads against some, he was tough enough to fight, and timing was horrible. I think Regents should ask Matt Rule who he would recommend for AD and president. So I forgot to mention this in the first segment, but spring football starts next week. It's been pretty quiet around here. My office is up there on the 3rd floor, pretty close to where Trev Alberts' office is and the senior staff. And I haven't seen him all week, but it's been quiet all around across the athletics department because it's spring break and because there are a lot of teams that are competing right now. And so there's a lot of people that are traveling with those teams really across the country. So it's been quiet, but when spring break is over, spring football starts. And so our first media availability is scheduled for Monday morning with Coach Rule and a few select players. So no doubt Coach Rule will be asked about it. We will probably get his thoughts on everything coming up on Monday morning. So we will have coverage of that as we always do right here. We will have a full show on Monday night. So we will have much more covering spring football and Coach Rule and his press conference coming up on Monday. There's going to be a lot to talk about on Monday, as we will have the selection shows for both the men's and women's basketball teams. We'll have the start of spring football, and Greg will be back on Monday. So we will definitely have plenty to dive into and discuss. So we'll look forward to that. I love this time of the year. I mean, obviously not ideal to have this kind of conversation that we're having today with a AD departure, but I love when everything overlaps. We've got softball, we've got baseball, and the postseason. I mean, March Madness is my favorite time of the year. It's the most wonderful time of the year. So I mentioned this to, I think it was Coach Williams, but not in the grand scheme of college basketball, there are a lot of programs that play basketball, and really there are not very many that have two teams, both their men's and women's teams, in this kind of conversation in the grand scheme of and you look at all the many teams and programs that play men's and women's basketball, to have two teams going to be in the NCAA tournament field. It's fun, and I cannot wait. So we'll find out all the destinations, where they're headed coming up on Sunday. But we're going to speculate a little bit more about the seeding coming up tomorrow night. Matt Coatney, voice of Nebraska women's basketball, will be joining us. So we might maybe kind of speculate where they might be headed a little bit more tomorrow in tomorrow night's show. All right, we got to work in our final break here of hour number 1, but keep it here. We're back to wrap things up here in hour number 1 with much more to come in hour number 2. Keep it here.
Don't miss out on limited time appliance deals during the closeout event at Lowe's. Get up to 35% off select major appliances. Plus, save an extra $100 when you spend $999 or more on all major appliances. Hurry, these deals are too good to last long. Shop in-store or online today, because Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid 1/4 through 1/24. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. See Lowe's.com for details.
Get ready again for some Nebraska farm facts. When there's work to be done, Nebraska soybeans are on the job in many of your everyday products. In fact, Nebraska soybeans are hard at work in Goodyear tires, Ford cars and trucks, Skechers shoes, asphalt, fuels, lubricants, name brand paints and stains, and more. Soybeans are an innovative replacement for petroleum, leading to more sustainable products all over the world. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
For farmers, productivity isn't an option, it's everything. And at Valley, we feel the same, delivering game-changing technology and irrigation solutions that advance agricultural productivity, with the results to prove it. From our leading irrigation technology to expert advice, you can always rely on Valley to bring out the best in your farm. At Valley, productivity isn't an option, it's everything. Visit your local Valley dealer or valleyirrigation.com today.
Experience luxury car buying like never before at Genesis of Southwest Omaha. Browse our full range of SUVs or our lineup of exceptional sedans, offering unparalleled elegance and sophistication. Plus, right now, lease the 2024 Genesis GB70 2.5 Turbo All-Wheel Drive Select for $669 per month for 36 months and 10,000 miles per year. With approved credit, tax, title, and license extra. First payment, $4,999 down plus $299 doc fee due at signing. Security deposit waived. Offer expires April 1st, 2024. See dealer for details.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Farming today is a combination of hard work, innovation, and partnerships to help keep us moving forward. Sap Brothers Petroleum has provided us with fuel, propane, and lubricants on the farm for many years.
For over 52 years, Sap Brothers has been a reliable partner to thousands of farmers across our great state. We work hard to make sure our customers have the most reliable supply, provided in the safest manner and at the most competitive price. Trust Sap Brothers Petroleum to protect your equipment and keep your farm fueled. Sap Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Huskers Athletics and to serve Nebraska farmers and Husker fans across America's heartland.
It's time for some Nebraska farm facts. Want to know a fast way to rev up our Nebraska economy while helping the planet? It's right in your tank. When you fill up with clean soy-based biodiesel, you're increasing Nebraska biodiesel production while reducing greenhouse gases by up to 74%. So look for biodiesel where you fill up. It benefits our air, our economy, and our farmers. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
Welcome back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, which is sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. Final segment here of hour number 1 of Sports Nightly. We've got more text rolling in. This one's from Andy in Phoenix. I moved on. Let's find a president and AD who wants to be here. Number 34 isn't coming back. One thing that remains is the loyal Husker Nation. Who keeps showing up? Husker Nation. We have great teams and facilities right now. Yeah, we actually had another text from Jim in Columbus earlier in the show as well, kind of echoing that, hey, let's move on. Let's find a next great leader. And that's what interim President Koborek had said in the email, that right now with where things are, you got to think that there's going to be a great pool of candidates. And yeah, it's a tough time and not ideal, never to lose an AD. And I know it's been a little bit of an issue here with rotating ADs, but hey, you know, you never know who's next in line and who might come in. And they're going to, I have the utmost faith also in President Koborek. We've got to know him a little bit during his time here coming in and for interviews on this show. And you want to talk about true love and loyalty for Nebraska. You'd be hard pressed to find someone that loves this state and this university more than him. And so during this time, there's no doubt he'll want to do the absolute best for this athletics department and put it in the right hands. And Dennis LeBlanc is certainly a great first move there. And Dennis LeBlanc actually emailed us, the athletics department staff, during this show, and just kind of saying, hey, he's glad to take on and let's continue this momentum, because there's a lot of great things happening right now in Nebraska, and we can choose to kind of get caught up in all of this and look backwards and dwell on this, or we can continue to push forward. And I certainly think there's a lot of people in place here that will continue to push forward. All right, we are about to close out hour number 1. What was the score of this? It just went to commercial break. Ohio State and Iowa game. Do you guys have the updated score?
Let me check up on that.
So Iowa's on the bubble. I just checked the last bracketology, and Iowa needs to make a run in this Big Ten tournament to be able to get into the NCAA tournament. They are a bubble team. Nebraska's still in that 8-9 seed, and Greg and I have talked a lot about this. I just think they're better than that. I think they're better than an 8-9 seed. So hopefully they can, like the women, maybe put a run together and improve their seeding in this Big Ten tournament.
Jess, the Buckeyes lead 63-54 with 12 minutes to go in that one.
So Iowa, boy, if they don't win this, they are not making the NCAA tournament fields. They've got some work to do. I also, just mentioned this with Amy Williams, but Jessica Keller put together a great thread. Go check it out on X, formerly Twitter, of putting together the arguments for Nebraska women's basketball. Can't believe they're still on the 8-9 seed as well. They should be higher than that. They should absolutely be a 6 seed. I think they've definitely put together the resume for that. All right, we're going to keep talking Nebraska women's basketball. We're going to talk a little baseball. Ben McLaughlin's going to stop by and join us as well. And Callin Hake of Nebraska women's basketball was a big part of that run up in Minneapolis. So still lots to come here on Sports Nightly. Keep it here. Hour number 2 just ahead.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
A few drinks at home after work, a couple of hits at a party with some friends, over-the-counter drugs for a minor illness, a new daily prescription, and you're not quite sure how it makes you feel. It doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If it impairs you, driving becomes deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Woodhouse GMC is bringing you more for the new year. With every new GMC purchase from Woodhouse, we're including 3 years of scheduled maintenance. Plus, with our current lease offers going on now, you'll save even more. Lease a 2024 GMC Terrain SLE for $389 a month for 39 months, 10,000 miles per year. Woodhouse GMC. We are professional grade. With approved credit. Must finance with GM Financial. Must currently lease a 2019 or newer GM vehicle to qualify. $1,995 down payment and first payment plus $299 doc fee due at signing. Offer expires April 1st, 2024. See dealer for details.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks. Foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
Are you ready? It's Ford Truck Month, and we're celebrating 47 years as the best-selling trucks in America with special once-a-year offers on Ford F-Series, including the new 2024 Ford F-150 and Ford Super Duty, the North American Truck of the Year. It's time to celebrate America. This is Ford Truck Month. Get 1.9% financing for 72 months plus $1,000 bonus cash on F-150 plus a 5-year 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
Good evening. I'm David Swotek, and our sports ticker is brought to you by the 1890 Initiative. Nebraska's athletic director Trev Alberts announced he will become a Texas A&M Aggie. Alberts will be in the same position there as athletic director. University of Nebraska interim president Chris Kaborek announced that he appointed executive associate athletic director Dennis LeBlanc as the new interim athletic director. LeBlanc has spent 40 years with the Huskers, and Kaborek says he is starting a national search for a permanent athletic director. Husker Till Steinforth was named Big Ten Field Athlete of the Year today. The junior from Saxony-Anhalt, Germany, competes in the heptathlon and long jump. Steinforth is a four-time USTF CCCA first-team All-American, three-time Big Ten champion, and holds 2 Nebraska school records. This is the third year in a row that Nebraska won the Big Ten Men's Indoor Field Athlete of the Year, with Jonah Wilson earning it in 2023 and Berger Lambrecht Jr. in 2022. Nebraska women's basketball head coach Amy Williams invites all Husker fans to Pinnacle Bank Arena for the NCAA Tournament Selection Show on Sunday, March 17th. Doors open at 6 p.m. with Huskers Radio Network personality Matt Coatney hosting a program at 6:30 p.m. His program includes special videos, introductions of the Huskers team, and speeches from the players and head coach Amy Williams. The selection show starts at 7 p.m. and will be played in PBA on a lowered center video cube. And finally, let's take a look at men's Big Ten tournament basketball scores. Number 8 Michigan State took on number 9 Minnesota. After a tough battle, Michigan State claimed their victory 77-67 and will play number 1 Purdue tomorrow. Number 5 Wisconsin faced off against number 12 Maryland. The Badgers pulled through for the W 87-56 and will play number 4 Northwestern tomorrow. Number 7 Iowa and number 10 Ohio State are battling it out right now, and the Buckeyes are ahead 73-62 with 8:45 left in the second half. The winner of that game will play number 2 Illinois tomorrow afternoon. And number 6 Indiana and number 11 Penn State play later at 8 p.m. tonight. The winner of that game will play Nebraska tomorrow night. Our sports ticker is sponsored by the 1890 Initiative. Do you want to support Husker student athletes through name, image, and likeness? If so, visit 1890nebraska.com. Coming up next is Hour 2 of Sports Nightly, right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Bryce Williams puts his head down, drives the ball, third defender comes, can't score it. Put back in on a tip dunk, high in the air above the cylinder, with a jam with the right hand. Jawan Gary.
Runners second and third, 2 outs. 1-2 the count. The pitch from Chambers. Cope golfs one to center and deep. Going back Delgadillo, and it's gone! 3-run home run, Emerson Cope. Make it 5-2 Nebraska.
Ryan Webb with the 3-0 pitch. Drilled into center field. Long run again for Verduzco. Onto the track. Looking up, and it is gone! Home run, Josh Caron's second home run of the night. This one a 3-run blast to right center field.
Shelley throws down low. Markowski kicks it out to Jazz. Knocked away by Marshall. 7 to shoot, 6 to shoot. Shelley for 3. You betcha! Huskers take their first lead of the game with 30 seconds left.
Here is your host, Jessica Coody, on the Huskers Radio Network.
Welcome back. Hour number 2 of Sports Nightly. I'm Jessica Coody. We got a fun second hour ahead. We're going to talk some Husker baseball with Ben McLaughlin. And I forgot to mention this, but we will have Cole's Joke of the Week coming up at the end of this hour as well. Cole, you had a big week last week. You ready to follow it up, back-to-back big weeks?
I did have a big week last week. I almost forgot. It's been so long since I had such an outstanding joke. So I don't know if I feel confident I can follow it up.
You're back in season. You'd ask for an off season. You're back in season. So
and important to note, last week I didn't have a student to run the joke by.
True.
So I was, this week when I have a student, it can kind of help me gauge whether or not it's actually good. So
you're putting it on David then tonight.
That's right.
Okay. All right. We will factor in David into the equation. But again, so Cole's joke of the week coming up at the end of this hour, and Ben McLaughlin coming up as well. But Callin Hake, as a Minnesota native, she got a chance to be a big part of the Nebraska women's basketball run to the championship game of the Big Ten tournament last week. This women's basketball team, it was really so special to watch because you were seeing a lot of different players really embrace their roles, make the most of their opportunities. Callin Hake certainly was one of those. She hit some big-time shots and took some big-time charges. So, played a huge role and will continue to play a big role for this women's basketball team as they move into the NCAA tournament. So this week, as a part of our Husker Women's Wednesday, I got a chance to sit down with Callin. You're a shooter. Describe that feeling when it is when you're throwing it into the ocean. It is like the best feeling in the world.
It is. Yeah, it's incredible. And I think we just went out, we played freely, and we had fun, and we played with joy. And when Nebraska women's basketball does that, we are hard to beat.
Talk about the freshmen and the way that they stepped up. I mean, Natalie Potts, she's just unbelievable. Just such a winner. We've heard that competitor wants to win so badly, but some of the big-time plays that she makes in some of the biggest moments, it's just, you kind of forget she's a freshman.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's really, you forget they're freshmen, and just the way they step up in big moments is absolutely incredible. And it's just a testament to their work ethic, but also like the confidence they have in themselves. And hopefully that they just feel that we continue to pour into them. And I just love that this team, we can be so transparent and honest on the court. Like, hey, we need you to guard, we need to stop. And, everyone on this team bucks up and does that. And that's just amazing.
That's incredible. Okay, so you guys make it to the championship game, and you guys went into that game fully expecting to win that basketball game, right?
Absolutely.
So, what was working really well for you guys that enabled you to extend the lead there, especially there in the first half?
Yeah, Iowa's transition offense is incredible, and so, our number one focus when we go in to play them is we got to stop that. And especially in the first half, I don't think we gave them anything. We stopped Hannah Stalke on those rim runs, and we're able to slow the ball, which is huge. And we can guard in the half court, but their transition is hard to stop. And I really think we did that. And then on the offensive end, we just moved the ball. We were able to find who was hot. Jazz was very hot in the first half. And same with Lex. When you have a dominant force in the paint like we do with Lex, like, it opens up so many shots for us. And if we can knock them down. But also, Lex is throwing dimes. And Jazz and I were laughing about that this morning. Like, they were both like flirting with a triple-double a couple times. And, that's incredible to have.
Yeah, how does Jazz feel Alexis come in for the assist record probably now?
I know, that's what we're saying. Lex has been, she draws those double teams, triple teams, or just the whole team sometimes. And her ability to be patient and just throw pinpoint passes to shooters makes our job a lot easier.
It's really easy from an outsider and as a fan of the team to just talk about how good you guys can shoot the basketball and what you guys do on the offensive end. But ultimately, how important is what you guys do on the defensive end to do everything else?
Absolutely. I am so proud of how this team locks into our scout and how we understand personnel and how we understand tendencies. And we may not be the fastest, the most athletic, or the biggest, but like, if you can understand tendencies on defense, you can go a lot further. And when you have 5 girls that are on the same page, whether that's transition, defense, ball screen coverage, you can get those stops. And I think that really was a testament in that Maryland game. Like, we held them so far below their average, especially in that first half. And when our defense goes, our offense goes. And that's the best way to play basketball.
Has that something that's had to develop and grow for you, or has it always been something that you've been good at, enjoyed at, studying part, the part of the game that, the scout part of it?
Yeah, no, I definitely think it was a huge transition going to college basketball. When you look and you have a 6-page scout and paragraphs under everyone, I think this year, I've just realized, the importance of staying hooked up to that scout, but also knowing 1 through 10 or 1 through 12, however many girls they play, because there's nothing worse than having 8th man come in and they hit you with 16 points or something. And so just being locked up, and I think our team has continually done that, and we've just taken strides here in March with that.
So you've taken some huge charges. I mean, there have been times that Amy Williams comes on the show and, she's pointing out not the big threes that you hit, but the defensive, the things that you do on the defensive end, and in particular, some of the big charges that you draw. Take me through that. Is that something that you've always been good at, or have you had to learn how to do that as well?
Yeah, I've never been the biggest on the court. I've always been small, and I play with a lot of grit, and that's something that I pride myself on. And I'm an energy giver to this team, and I understand the importance and how big of a swing a charge is for our team. And I am more than willing to lay my body on the line. You know, those 5 charges in that tournament, definitely I'm feeling now. But I'd go back and take 5 more if that's what it came down to. And, you know, when you have 4 teammates running up and picking you up, you know, that makes it all worth it.
Oh, I love that. It gives me chills. So, you know, if someone's listening in and wants to maybe include that in part of their game, what goes into that? How do you become someone that's good at doing that and getting set and then taking those charges?
Yeah, I think a lot of it starts, like we always talk about, seeing both, seeing your man and seeing the ball, and then also being in initial positioning. And when Coach's famous line, like when the ball leaves the skin of their fingertips, you need to be where you need to be. And I think this year I've been able to really improve on that. I will say, like, I still have strides to make. But that's helped me, you know, be in the right position to either take the charges. A lot of time it does come on bigs when they're in ball screen coverage, or just to know their tendencies that they want to go right and able to hip drive and like take that charge on the dribble.
Has the game slowed down for you between last year and this year, your freshman and sophomore year?
Absolutely, yeah. And I think just being able to, Jazz and I, you know, we did some point guard class, you know, with the changes this season with Allison going out earlier, and just being able to like really study film with Coach Keller and with Jazz, and to just learn from them has been, I think it's slowed the game down tremendously for me.
Okay, so going back to the loss, I mean, it was clear how emotional Coach Williams was, the players that went to the post game, and I know Matt Coady said it was a pretty emotional locker room. Why was this team so emotional following that loss?
Because we knew we could win. And I think there were so many doubters that we weren't going to be in that championship, as Coach Williams said, but we believed. And when we sat in Carver Hawkeye, when we lost to Iowa, we looked around that locker room knowing next time we would play them, we were going to win. Everyone truly believed. And when you have all these girls that are bought in and a coaching staff that's bought in and truly believes what you can do, that's special. And that's what makes it so emotional.
So then, you know, the thing is your season's not done after that. So how do you guys close the chapter on that? I know, you know, you get a couple days, get a little bit of about a week before you find out even where you go and who you're going to play. So how do you process that now and put it in the rearview mirror, but maybe even build off of what you guys did?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's important that, you know, we process it, but we also learn from it. I think there's so many things to learn and build on, especially build on. And, you know, what's special about we have till Selection Sunday to work on ourselves. We don't know who we're going to play, where we're going to play. And so we get to work on Huskers. And I think that's just special. We can work on our execution, our defense, and just take strides. And whoever comes in our way, they don't.
You know, for you in your role, and it's not just you, because Coach Williams has talked about this several times about how it takes everybody, and everybody has contributed, everybody has played their part and embraced their role. What goes into that for a program? And you talk about the special culture, but how everybody just wants to do their part, and whatever they can do to help this team win, it's got to be pretty special to be a part of. But how do you get to that point for a team?
Yeah, I think we did a lot of learning and growing from last year and just some of the adversity that we went through as a team. And this year, we just want to win, and whatever that takes, if that's me starting, if that's me coming off the bench, if that's me not playing, if that's someone else shining. And I just think that's so special is one game someone might not see the ball go in the bucket or not even see the court, but then you have someone like Ani Stewart who steps up in big moments and big games and does what she does. Like, that's the epitome of a selfless player and just what this team is all about.
I love that. And the bench mob was back
Absolutely.
over the weekend. They got a lot of TV time.
Yes, they did. A lot of love and a lot of hate. I don't know how you hate that, but
I mean, give it up to Allison Widener. You know, she's back and filling her. I guess that she kind of helped start that her freshman year. But boy, they had some creative celebrations. Is that back to like game planning before the games and stuff?
Absolutely. I think there's so many celebrations that we have up our sleeve for NCAAs. I don't know if you guys are ready for them, but I think that just speaks to our team and how we pour into each other. Like, hitting a three is awesome, but when you see your teammates celebrate your successes even more than you do, that's so special, and you couldn't ask for more.
So I want to go back to the point guard lessons that you had with Jazz and just what all you learned and what it's like kind of diving into the mind of Jazz Shelley.
Yeah, you know, she is just a wealth of knowledge, and she's so selfless to be able to spend hours with me and sit down and, you know, walk through what she's seeing and just to learn from her IQ has been such a blessing. And to sit, we would always get breakfast. I'll kind of just walk you through the day. We'd get breakfast, catch up, and then we'd go with Coach Keller and we'd kind of watch either if that was like Sam Hyvee or different point guards that have been in our program, and either if that was Jazz or whoever that was. And then we'd go instantly to the court and try to implement what we were just learning. So either if that was, we spend a lot of time with ball screens and looking at those reads and just being able to handle the ball under pressure, but also understanding, I think the biggest adjustment for me is understanding where all 5 girls need to be when they need to be there and getting them there and being able to direct them. And I think that's something I've never had to do, but it's also just made my IQ and my understanding for the game a lot better.
I was going to say, how much do you enjoy that then, now being in that role? Yeah, I think it's been fun. You know, I think it's the versatility has been awesome, but also just understanding where they need to be, when they need to be there, and like that's helped my reads especially. Yeah, it's been fun, and to be able to interchange, I think that's really hard for a team to scout and a team to guard. Yeah, that's kind of what Amy Williams does, though. You got a lot of guards that are pretty versatile. How much do you enjoy being a part of something like that? I got to imagine most of the guards, that's what they want coming here. It's what they sign up for. But, you know, that you're not just locked into one thing, that you are expected to do a lot of different things.
Yeah, I think it's so fun. I think it's awesome that anyone can bring the ball up, and I think it allows us to play with pace. And when we play with pace, we are really dangerous, because the faster we get off the ball, the faster we can get the ball inside, back outside, and back inside. And I think that's so special. And I think it's also special when you have guards that everyone can shoot it. And so you can put them anywhere on the floor. And if that means me on the point, me off the ball, Kamo on the ball, like, it's just incredible what we can do. And I think it's a testament to everyone's IQ as well.
Okay, so I wanted to get to know your backstory a little bit. Take me through, for those that might not know, how your recruiting process, how you landed at Nebraska.
Yeah, so this was definitely not like in my first choice. It was kind of towards the end of my recruiting process that Nebraska came in, and I'm so thankful that they did. This was always, I always say, this was always a town I drove through when I was going to our place in Colorado, and I always just knew of Lincoln because we stopped here on the way. But I truly had no idea how special this place was until I stepped foot on this campus. And the first time I took a visit here, I got in the car and told my parents this is where I'm going to end up. And I just think, you know, you have a coaching staff that cares about you first and foremost as a person, and then a player, and then you have all your extracurriculars and a university that pours into you as a student. And I'm very content with the day that the ball does stop bouncing, and this university really sets you up for success as a student. And in the community, that is like my favorite part of this university, is how you get to pour back and speak to kids and speak to even senior living. We get to go there and just brighten their days, and, you know, and that's my why, is seeing, you know, the little girl that I once was, you know, that's amazing.
What a great conversation. Really enjoyed chatting with Callin Hake. You can listen to that full conversation out now on our YouTube channel and our podcast platforms. And it was part of Husker Women's Wednesday, powered by Emeritus. Emeritus is proud to power Husker Women's Wednesday in all of Husker women's sports. So, again, check that out now. I cannot wait to watch this women's basketball team. I think they found something in the Big Ten tournament that they might be able to put together something pretty special here as March Madness begins. All right, we got to work in another break here, but coming up next, we're going to talk some Husker baseball with Ben McLaughlin.
It's Ford Truck Month, and we're celebrating 47 years as the best-selling trucks in America with special once-a-year offers on Ford F-Series, including the new 2024 Ford F-150 and Ford Super Duty, the North American Truck of the Year. It's time to celebrate America. This is Ford Truck Month. Get 1.9% financing for 72 months plus $1,000 bonus cash on F-150 plus a 5-year 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
Get ready to rule the field and revolutionize your farming game with Valley, the game changer in irrigation and ag tech solutions. With time and labor-saving measures, ground-truthing results, and effective input reduction, Valley provides the perfect game plan so you stay ahead of what's in the field. From the best in irrigation and cutting-edge ag tech solutions to personalized support, Valley is your winning team. Visit your local Valley dealer or valleyirrigation.com today.
Woodhouse Lincoln wants to redefine your driving experience with our stunning lineup of Lincoln vehicles. Come visit us in store off 114th and Giles Road or online anytime at woodhouselincoln.com.
Lease a 2023 Lincoln Nautilus for $459 a month for 39 months, 10,500 miles per year, or receive 0.9% APR for 60 months. With approved credit, security deposit waived, $3,000 down payment plus first payment and $299 doc fee due at signing. Offer expires March 31st, 2024. See dealer for details.
Did I forget something?
No, just wanted to tell you I love you. Oh, don't forget to buckle up. Drive safe.
I will. Love you too. Someone is counting on you to buckle up. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
If you're an unconditional, wholehearted, and ever so loyal Husker fan, you deserve to pay like one everywhere you go. With the free FNBO Husker Visa debit card. Fuel your fandom all season and beyond with a debit card just for you. It's free with any checking account from FNBO, the bank of Husker Nation. Get your free Husker Visa debit card at any branch or at fnbo.com/Huskers. Member FDIC.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
I just remember leaving that day feeling absolutely exhausted. I was sick and tired of living that double life.
Mike is a former problem gambler.
The anxiety, the depression is real. You start thinking about the money, where that could have went to. It's never enough. I could win $10 million today, and I'd go back and try to win 20 tomorrow.
Help for problem gambling is free for Nebraskans and their families at lifeafterbet.com.
For farmers, productivity isn't an option, it's everything. And at Valley, we feel the same, delivering game-changing technology and irrigation solutions that advance agricultural productivity, with the results to prove it. From our leading irrigation technology to expert advice, you can always rely on Valley to bring out the best in your farm. At Valley, productivity isn't an option, it's everything. Visit your local Valley dealer or valleyirrigation.com today.
Noddle Companies is proud to support Husker Athletics. As a leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Sunnyside Exarban, and Row House Townhomes on Leavenworth. Noddle Companies is adding Omaha's first hybrid timber building to the skyline. Soon to follow is Builders Green Park, surrounded by mouth-watering food, exciting retail, and a hub of thriving businesses. Noddle Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Go Huskers!
Hi, this is Husker National Champion and Super Bowl champ Tony Veland. Throughout my football career, chiropractic care helped my athletic performance on the field and kept me in the game. Today, regular chiropractic care keeps me healthy and active to do the things I love. Chiropractic is safe and effective for all ages. Make chiropractic your first choice to reduce pain, improve your mobility, and feel better naturally. It works for me, and it can work for you too. Learn more at nebraska-chiropractic.org. Stay active with chiropractic.
There's no community like a Cenex community. And that's why every Cenex store is so proud to serve theirs by supporting local athletic teams, promoting the arts, and making sure each store is a place its neighbors can find what they need, catch up with their friends, and stay connected. It's also why we give back, helping to make the wonderful places we call home the best they can be. Your local Cenex doesn't just work in your town, it lives there. The store next door, powered locally at Cenex.
It's Ford Truck Month, and we're celebrating 47 years as the best-selling trucks in America with special once-a-year offers on Ford F-Series, including the new 2024 Ford F-150 and Ford Super Duty, the North American Truck of the Year. It's time to celebrate America. This is Ford Truck Month. Get 1.9% financing for 72 months plus $1,000 bonus cash on F-150 plus a 5-year 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
Welcome back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, which is sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. Coming up this weekend, Husker baseball back at home at Haymarket Park with a 3-game series against Nichols. So we're going to dive into all of that and get a preview with Ben McLaughlin, who will be on the call this weekend. Ben, thanks for being here with us.
Yeah, of course. Happy to be on. Thank you.
Well, before we dive into all things Husker baseball, I did want to get your reaction, your take. What was going through your mind when you heard the news unfolding, the big news of the day that Trev Alberts is leaving as the AD here at Nebraska?
Well, the first time I heard about it, I heard it from somebody at work, and I thought it was a joke. And so, of course, you dive on social media and you see the reports, and then you wonder, okay, are these reports substantial? Are they accurate? And they are. And then it's just kind of shock and disbelief. I'd be lying if I didn't say I was disappointed with the decision that Trev Alberts made to move on to A&M. I think there was a lot of things going right for this athletic department and a lot of things done behind the scenes to make him comfortable and to fit kind of his vision with how he wanted to run things. And, to leave right now when you have 2 basketball teams that are going to be participating in March Madness, you have a baseball team rolling right now. I think everybody's excited with year number 2 with Matt Rule. I think the timing of it all is just completely shocking.
So if you're a head coach right now, specifically Will Bold, I mean, you can't really even get caught up in that at this point. You've got business to take care of on the baseball field.
Yeah, 100%. And luckily their sport administrator is still around. Doug Ewald is still around and is still present. And it was great to see Doug and his wife make some trips out, to the different parts of the country that Nebraska started their season. But yeah, you're right. They're in the thick of it. There's no slowing the train down. They can't spend any extra energy worrying about that. This is a grind of a season, and, it's hard to believe that we're already approaching game number 20 on the season of a 56-game schedule, but we're rolling, and not even this news is going to stop it.
So I did first want to start going back to last weekend and the series over South Alabama. I was talking with Greg about it, said maybe not as clean as you would have hoped, maybe a little bit sloppy at times, but you find a way to win and win the series. What were your big takeaways, the big positives from last weekend in the series win over South Alabama?
Yeah, I know this is supposed to be a quick segment, so I'll try and be brief, but there was a lot in that 3-game series. I mean, Nebraska got their butts handed to them on Friday, and there's just no two ways about it. They were outplayed, out-physicaled. South Alabama looked every part of a regional team on Friday, and so we were curious how Nebraska would respond on Saturday after getting hit in the mouth like that in your home opener. And it was great to see Nebraska bounce back the way they did. They did exactly to what South Alabama did to them the night before. And then you show up on Sunday, and, the old college baseball fans will remember the saying, Sunday, run day, fun day, and that's kind of what it turned into at Hawks Field. South Alabama scored 4 runs in the first inning again. Nebraska had 5 errors, and you're wondering this is not going to go well, particularly with the post-game chat with the coach. But you got to give them a lot of credit. They dug out of the hole. They applied pressure to South Alabama by reaching base, and then they started finally coming through with some big hits. I think they had 6 straight 2-out hits in the 6th inning to really kind of take over the game. And, the pitching staff is good enough with that kind of lead to hold things off. So there was a lot that happened, but overall I think you're really pleased with the 2-1 effort against a really good South Alabama team who just beat Mississippi State the other night.
How impressive has Brett Sears been, but particularly over the weekend?
Yeah, he's been dominant. And the thing that's impressive about Brett is, you're around him and he doesn't say a lot. He's a pretty quiet, composed guy, and then for whatever reason he puts a jersey on and he kind of transforms into this completely different creature, and he's just hyper competitive. He has razor sharp command of 4 pitches, and he's the prototypical guy that you want starting a rotation because you feel like you have a really good chance to win every time he's on the mound. And he's just really transformed himself, and it started this summer. I mean, he really had a terrific summer to build confidence, and I know he didn't have the start to the season that he wanted last year, but he kind of bounced around roles and really started pitching well toward the end of last year and just came in with all kinds of confidence, and it's just carried over.
And how about Rhett Stokes, too? I mean, had you on now a couple of times. I know you guys have talked about this, but it seems like we're talking about somebody different that's really delivering in this lineup each weekend.
Yeah, if you would have told me the first Big Ten Player of the Week on the team and asked me who it would be, Rhett Stokes might have been like my 13th or 14th pick. I mean, I would not have gotten that correct. And I think a couple reasons why. Number one, Nebraska's without 2 starting infielders. They did get Overbeek back in the lineup, but Caden Brumbaugh still on the shelf defensively for about another 5 to 6 weeks with the arm injury. So that allowed 2 open spots. And, you know, Nebraska has different options there to try some guys out. Rhett got a look at third base and second base, and, you know, he really, really, really had a nice series. I mean, my goodness, he was doing everything well on Friday and Saturdays, playing great defense. The defense escaped him a little bit on Sunday, but he made up for it for a couple more doubles, had a big 2-run single, and I think had 9 hits in the series, which is just phenomenal. So it's him. Dylan Huff has taken his turn. You're having to play Will Jeske. I mean, Nebraska's played 6 second basemen, Jessica, and we're not even game to 20 yet. It's just, I joked with Will Bolt the other day, like, what are you trying to set a record? Like, it's just insanity. They've got a true freshman, making a start at second base that started taking ground balls there 48 hours before his first start. You almost just can't make it up. But they're somehow finding a way to piece it together, at least until some of these guys can get back.
Well, after the weekend, again, the Huskers still number 3 in the RPI. What realistically, where can, in terms of the RPI, realistically, can Husker baseball be throughout the season? Is that something that's attainable? Where do you see them, I guess, moving throughout the RPI?
Yeah, great question, because I'm getting this question a ton from fans. It's going to go down. There's just no way once we get into conference play with the teams in the SEC and some of these other leagues that it can withstand that because of the RPIs of the other team leagues. That being said, it's better to be third than 203rd.
Yeah.
And so I think, you know, right now, Nebraska's done everything they've needed to do RPI-wise to position themselves for an at-large berth. Now there's still a lot of baseball left. You know, more than 80% of your season's left. But in terms of preseason work before conference play, it's looked really clean for Nebraska. I mean, I know their last game with Wichita State didn't go particularly well, but you go on the road again and earn a split. I think you'll take that. And then now, obviously, we know what the home schedule looks like for the Big Ten. All the big games for Nebraska are going to be at home, which is good. And the games that they have on the road, I think, are very winnable. So it's going to go down, but I don't see any reason why it can't hover and still be a really, really, really big strength. You know, while we're in the month of March and we're talking basketball resumes, you know, in the month of May, we're going to look at Nebraska's RPI among their strength of schedule and some other things as a really big selling point to the committee to earn an at-large berth should they not win the Big Ten baseball tournament.
Great perspective. Okay, so, and I do want to talk about Nichols, but you mentioned the split with Wichita State, and now you're talking about the midweek games that you're trying to balance a pitching staff. How does this staff, how will they go about now managing those arms and the wanting to win the weekend series, but also picking up some of those weeknight games? I mean, Omaha's coming up. I know that's been developed into quite the rivalry on the baseball diamond. So how do you go about navigating now in the middle of this grind that's starting with so many games being played?
Yeah, it's another good question because Nebraska had to learn a valuable lesson last year that the Tuesday, Wednesday games matter. The midweek games matter just as much as they do the weekend series. Obviously, you love to win in conference. That's important. But when you don't take care of business in the midweek games, it's going to kill you. It's not only going to kill your record, it's going to kill your RPI. And, you know, that's just not something that Nebraska had going for them last year. And so I think there's a completely different approach to treat those games like they matter, which is why you saw Will Walsh, who started, you know, arguably Nebraska's most important game of the year right now, Texas Tech, as the starting pitcher. You saw him start game 1 against Wichita. And the other thing, too, is we spoke to the depth of the defense and the offense. There's a lot of guys in Rob Childress's staff that need innings and need work and sometimes just don't get the work necessary. When you have starting pitchers that go 6 innings consistently in the weekend, you know, there are a lot of guys that need work, especially when you start to get to the end of the season. So it was great to see Ryan Harrahill make his Husker debut and his first career start. I know it didn't go as well as he'd hoped, but I didn't think he pitched poorly. And it's just time to get these guys some innings and hand them some roles to where, you know, if you do suffer an injury or two or guys not performing, you know, you have reliable options in the bullpen or even, you know, with starting experience to come in and take those roles over.
Okay, let's start talking this weekend with Nichols coming to town. As you dive into the prep for that, what do they look like on paper? What's this matchup look like?
Well, I feel like the last time I did this with you, we were talking about an undefeated Charleston team who on paper was looking really good. And I'm not lying to you. The numbers are what they are. This team's 17-3. They've only lost one game in the month of March. It was a slugfest to Tulane. I think the final score was like 14-12 or something like that.
Wow.
They're batting .350 as a team. Everybody on their statistics page outside of one player that has at-bats this year is batting over 300. Like, that just sounds video game-ish.
Yeah.
Now, again, pretty similar to Charleston. I do think their strength of schedule could be significantly better, but this is also a regional baseball team from last year. I mean, they went to a regional. Nebraska saw them last year in that weird situation with weather where they had to drive down to Kansas State to play Nichols on what was supposed to be a home series. So it's a really good team. They're coached well. They play great defense. But again, hopefully, Nebraska's up to the task, because it seems that's part of the reason why the RPI is the way it is. Every team that they've played so far this year has a really good record, and Nichols is no exception.
So when you go back to the conversation about last weekend and some of the things that need to be cleaned up, what are some of those areas that you're looking for maybe the Huskers to improve upon and be better this weekend?
Defensively, that's first and foremost. I mean, Will Bolt's teams and Nebraska baseball historically has been a team built on good pitching and defense. And when you're booting the ball around the infield, that's resulting in runs. Not only is that hurting your chance to win games, but you have some pitchers out there like Ty Horn making his first Husker start with some fragile confidence right now, and that led to some crooked innings. And Ty exits after just a couple of innings, and it's not fair to him that he pitched well enough to throw 40, 50 more pitches in that game, but you're hurting the confidence of some young players. So that has to get cleaned up. And then I'd like to see Nebraska execute a little bit better with their short game. They've missed a lot of bunts, haven't gotten some bunts down. Their base running has been sloppy. They got picked off twice last week. So there's definitely areas to clean up, but it's much more valuable learning those lessons through wins than losses.
All right, great stuff as always, Ben McLaughlin. Appreciate your call, or appreciate you calling in. And again, it all gets started coming up Friday, 6:05 is first pitch, but Ben will be on the call coming up 5:30 pregame on Friday nights. Change of the schedule there, so fans make note of that, right? 6:05 on Friday.
Yeah, 6:05. So it's early. I mean, make sure you're bringing tailgating materials because you're going to be there a little while. But it's going to be sober here for a little while after a midweek road trip.
Awesome. Great stuff. Thanks, Ben.
Thank you.
Again, 3-game series, 6:05 on Friday, Saturday, 2:05, and 12:05 on Sunday. Appreciate Ben McLaughlin calling in on our Woodhouse Auto Family hotline. Woodhouse Auto Family is your trusted auto partner with 20 brands and 20 convenient sales and service locations. We're making car buying on your terms. Visit us online at woodhouse.com. We're back with more of the show coming up after this.
Maybe your hometown celebrates long-standing Swiss traditions. Cow chip throwing, or even classic car muscle. Everyone has a hometown, and every hometown has a festival. Cenex wants to hear about yours. That's why we're launching the Hometown Throwdown. Tell us about your fest, and it could win $100,000. Learn more at CenexHometownThrowdown.com. Cenex, powered locally.
Noddle Companies is proud to support Husker Athletics. As a leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Sunny's at Exarban, and Row House Townhomes on Leavenworth. Noddle Companies is adding Omaha's first hybrid timber building to the skyline. Soon to follow is Builders Green Park, surrounded by mouth-watering food, exciting retail, and a hub of thriving businesses. Noddle Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Go Huskers!
T&L Irrigation Company knows their way around a field and across it, into the corners, and even through storms. T&L engineers are constantly working on solutions producers need, like the new gooseneck cradle corner system attachment. It greatly improves corner span stability to tackle steep terrain and stand up to high winds. If you're looking to upgrade your corner system or add on new, call your T&L Irrigation dealer today or visit TLIRR.com to learn more. T&L, like no other.
Bananas are only 39 cents a pound at Hy-Vee. That's not a sale price. That's the price with the Hy-Vee Perks membership. And 39 cents a pound is not just the price today or this week, it's the Perks price every day. With the Hy-Vee Perks membership, you can save on hundreds of products store-wide every time you shop and count on Perks prices to stay the same. So if you want to pay less for bananas every day, sign up for Hy-Vee Perks. It's free and easy. Some restrictions apply.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
That's the best way I could describe how it felt for me when I would walk out of either the casino or the Keno parlor, is that you just felt that wave of heat, that wave of oppression kind of hit you, that wave of dread.
Mike is a former problem gambler.
Right away, you would always know that that drive home would be the worst moments of why. Why did I do this again? Why can't I stop this?
Help for problem gambling is free for Nebraskans and their families at lifeafterbet.com.
Take your car buying experience to new heights with Woodhouse Mazda. Shop our full lineup of luxurious CUVs that will transform the way you travel, like the spacious and sophisticated Mazda CX-90 or the sleek and sporty Mazda CX-5. Plus, lease the 2024 Mazda CX-50 Select for just $399 per month. 36 months, 10,000 miles per year with approved credit. Tax, title, license, extra, first payment, and $299 doc fee due at signing. Stock number MM240366. Offer expires April 1st, 2024. See dealer for details.
Farming today is a combination of hard work, innovation, and partnerships to help keep us moving forward. Sapp Brothers Petroleum has provided us with fuel, propane, and lubricants on the farm for many years.
For over 52 years, Sapp Brothers has been a reliable partner to thousands of farmers across our great state. We work hard to make sure our customers have the most reliable supply, provided in the safest manner and at the most competitive price. Trust Sapp Brothers Petroleum to protect your equipment and keep your farm fueled. Sapp Brothers is proud to be an official partner of Huskers Athletics and to serve Nebraska farmers and Husker fans across America's heartland.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks. Foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
Are you ready? It's Ford Truck Month, and we're celebrating 47 years as the best-selling trucks in America with special once-a-year offers on Ford F-Series, including the new 2024 Ford F-150 and Ford Super Duty, the North American Truck of the Year. It's time to celebrate America. This is Ford Truck Month. Get 1.9% financing for 72 months plus $1,000 bonus cash on F-150 plus a 5-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Welcome back inside our Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center, which is sponsored by Acres, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Acres, solutions for every field. Got a couple more segments left here on this Thursday night edition of Sports Nightly. Big comeback in the works right now for Nebraska softball. They were trailing 5-0 heading into the bottom of the sixth. Huskers played 3 in the bottom half of the sixth, and now they are threatening again. They have tied it up at 5 with a runner on. That is I think Caitlin Neal just strikes out. So we are headed to extra innings out there at Bullen Stadium, heading in to inning number 8, tied all up at 5. But it was Sydney Gray. Boy, she has been on a tear this season. She hits the RBI single that makes it 5-4, and then it was Ava Bradwell that hits a grounder. It was a fielder's choice, make 2 out with 2 outs, but they had ended up scoring a run, so that ties it all up at 5. So fireworks out at Bullen Stadium here tonight as the Huskers look to complete the comeback. Had a couple more texts to get to on the text line. This situation feels a bit like a punch in the stomach to Husker fans, but we need to stay together and move ahead. Yeah, well said. I mean, I think we were all shocked, had again, I said it. This is the last of a million things I would have thought we would have been talking about tonight was Trev Alberts leaving and taking a different athletics director job. But I think in terms of attracting another person to come back to Nebraska, that fan support is certainly one of the things that people will mention when they come here, and the way that Husker fans show up and show out for all of their sports, not just one or two, but all of them. And so, you gotta get behind these Husker teams here throughout this time. Another text is Albert's departure indicate a bigger problem at NU GBR. Look, I don't know. I got to think that a decision like this, it's not just one reason. It's not just two reasons. It might be multiple reasons. We might never know what went into this decision for Trev Alberts. Who knows what his thought process was as he was, making this decision process. I don't know how long he was thinking about it. All I know is I had no idea, and I don't think any of us did. So maybe it was something that was in the works for a little bit. Maybe it wasn't. But, time will tell. We will see. I did get a response to Art in Los Angeles text from earlier on about the plans for the stadium. I think it's too early to tell. I think it will be probably up to the new AD how he wants to move forward, or she wants to move forward with the plans for the stadium, but only time will tell on that front. Appreciate all the texts coming in tonight. You guys helping me out here and being a part of the show tonight as I'm flying solo. Greg will be on the call tomorrow night with Ben for the baseball series this weekend. Back out at Haymarket Park as the Huskers take on Nichols, and then he'll be back here on Sports Nightly on Monday night as well. All right, we're keeping a tab. We have moved to the 8th inning, so still tied at 5 there for Huskers softball. But coming up next, it's the segment you've all been waiting for, Cole's Joke of the Week. Keep it here on Sports Nightly.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks. Foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
Are you ready? It's Ford Truck Month, and we're celebrating 47 years as the best-selling trucks in America with special once-a-year offers on Ford F-Series, including the new 2024 Ford F-150 and Ford Super Duty, the North American Truck of the Year. It's time to celebrate America. This is Ford Truck Month. Get 1.9% financing for 72 months plus $1,000 bonus cash on F-150 plus a 5-year 100,000-mile powertrain warranty. Only at your Midwest Ford dealers.
I just remember leaving that day feeling absolutely exhausted. I was sick and tired of living that double life.
Mike is a former problem gambler.
The anxiety, the depression is real. You start thinking about the money, where that could have went to. It's never enough. I could win $10 million today, and I'd go back and try to win 20 tomorrow.
Help for problem gambling is free for Nebraskans and their families at lifeafterbet.com.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
At Groundworks, we take great pride in helping our Nebraska neighbors keep their homes healthy. From repairing foundations to waterproofing basements to fixing crawl spaces or lifting concrete driveways. We'd like to think our customers choose us because of our attention to detail or the fact that we're the nation's leading foundation solutions provider. What gives our customers the most comfort is we're right here in Nebraska. Visit groundworks.com for a free estimate. Groundworks. Foundation solutions crafted with pride. The official foundation company of the Huskers.
It's time for another round of Nebraska Farm Facts. If there's one thing Nebraska's known for, it's our beef. And Nebraska soybeans feed a lot of them, and even more pigs and chickens. Farmers and ranchers raise livestock and poultry to provide nutritious, affordable protein for all ages to help build muscle and maintain energy for a healthy lifestyle. Keep that in mind as you prepare all that tasty meat on your tailgate grill. This message is brought to you by Nebraska soybean farmers, growing opportunity from the ground up.
Woodhouse Auto Family is your trusted auto partner with 20 brands and 20 convenient sales and service locations. We're making car buying on your terms. Visit us online at woodhouse.com. Welcome back to our final segment here of this Thursday night edition of Sports Nightly. We got a final to pass along at the Big Ten tournament. 90-78, Ohio State knocks off Iowa. So got to think Hawkeyes are done for the year. They were a bubble team and needed to make a run in the Big Ten tournament. So it looks like the NCAA tournament field will be without Iowa this year. And up next will be the Huskers opponent. Whoever will win that game will be the Huskers opponent. So Penn State, Indiana coming up here in the next few minutes. So we'll tune in for that and know who the Huskers play. And then we'll have a preview coming up tomorrow with Jake Muehlheisen. All right, enough of me stalling. It is time. It is time. That time of the week for Cole's Joke of the Week, and you feel pretty good about today.
Nothing better than a Thursday night joke of the week.
Because you had a big performance last week.
That's right.
So
I
we're
even
ready.
had a cousin text me at like 8 after we got off last Thursday. Apparently he was listening, so
I mean,
I appreciate
it's just taken Husker Nation by storm.
It really has.
You're going to have a sponsor here pretty soon, an NIL deal for Cole's Joke of the Week.
Jessica, it was interesting today because we have our great student intern David with us today, but he told me some sad news, which was he lost his ID earlier, so he's going to go by Dave now because he lost his ID. David ID Dave.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice. I mean, you had to explain it to me, of course, but nice. Yeah. All right. We will get the response. What do you guys think? Send in those rankings, ratings, scores, ratings. What do we call them? Send in your rating.
It's a rating system, the 1 to 10.
There's Jim in Columbus, one of our faves in the text line. Cole, I'll give you a 10 because after yesterday, anything is funny.Moving on.
Well,
that's true.
Thanks,
Someone
Jim.
said we need a little joke in our life.
Yeah.
After the news, but yes, so I had to make sure that Cole's Joke of the Week was on the docket for today because we need a little laughter in our life. All right, Ethan, 4 hours to link into the chat. Haha, took me a minute. I give it a 7. Yes, took me a minute too, but definitely was funny. Last week was really funny.
This one is probably easier if you're reading it because then you can see the actual I and the D is gone.
Yes.
But
Okay. Tim in Minnesota, I wish the Trev Alberts news had been only a joke, but moving onward, and he gives you an 8. And then Art in Los Angeles, OMG, Cole Hartman is 2 for 2 after him taking a break. Keep it up, Cole. I think he just might be on to something. Maybe working at the Funny Bone or guest appearance on Jimmy Kimmel is in your future. Art's a big fan.
I appreciate it, Art.
I don't know what his rating was.
Yeah, I can't see it. I'm sure it was great.
Cole's joke is solid 7 for delivery, 8 for content, and 9 for funny. That's from Crypto. Dryce gives you a 7, and Justin an 8.468.
Okay.
And Crypto says he'll donate to Cole's NIL deal. So
all right.
You got some
I
love. There's
appreciate
Dennis gives you a 6.5, but for the most part, pretty positive.
Sure. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah. Okay, so you'll be back. Do we have a show next Thursday?
I don't know if I can think that far ahead.
I
think
know.
we
It's
do.
like one day at a time
I
right
think
now.
we do. Tuesday, Wednesday, I think we've got some midweek baseball. But I think we'll be back Thursday.
Okay, so you will probably be back for 3 weeks in a row. So you'll look to go 3 for 3 here after your
hiatus?
After your off season.
Right.
Keep it rolling. Okay, Husker and Hanover 7.5. Shane gives you a 7.13. These are some random ratings here. We got some specific numbers here, but all right, Cole, appreciate it. That's going to about do it for us here on this Thursday night edition of Sports Nightly. Thank you all for tuning in and listening. Thanks to our great guests, Coach Williams for stopping by, Ben McLaughlin. We've got yet another busy weekend coming up this weekend on the Huskers Radio Network. Softball's still all tied up. Huskers did have a scoreless top half of the inning, so they are now back at the plate, tied 5-5 in the bottom of the 8th. Nate Rohr has got all the calls for you on Husker softball all weekend long on the Huskers app and Huskers.com. Baseball will be on the air coming up tomorrow. 6:05 first pitch, so they will be on the air for a 5:30 pregame show. And Nebraska men's basketball starts their run in the Big Ten tournament. Hopefully it's going to be another lengthy run that we see from another Husker basketball team coming up this weekend in Minneapolis. And their proximate tip is about 8 o'clock. And so Jake and Kent will be on on the air coming up at 7 o'clock for their pregame show, and we will await to find out who their opponent is here tonight. This game is about to tip between Indiana and Penn State. And we have got Matt Coatney coming up for you tomorrow. We're going to dive more into the NCAA seeding for Nebraska women's basketball. We'll preview the men's basketball matchup tomorrow night as well. So lots headed your way tomorrow night. Have a great night.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Hey, Mom. Yeah, I got in a crash. I'm okay. I was wearing my seatbelt.
People count on you to buckle up. Brought to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
NDOT Companies is proud to support Husker Athletics. As a leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Sunny's at Exarban, and row house townhomes on Leavenworth. NDOT Companies is adding Omaha's first hybrid timber building to the skyline. Soon to follow is Builders Green Park, surrounded by mouth-watering food, exciting retail, and a hub of thriving businesses. NDOT Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Go Huskers!
Start your next journey with Woodhouse. Our commitment extends beyond just selling cars. We offer an unparalleled car buying experience that allows you to shop and buy all online. Explore an array of new brands, makes, and models, as well as our large selection of pre-owned vehicles. And it's easy to get started today with our streamlined purchasing process online, granting you the freedom to secure your next vehicle anytime, anywhere. Discover a better way to buy with Woodhouse.
Hi, this is Husker National Champion and Super Bowl champ Tony Veland. Throughout my football career, chiropractic care helped my athletic performance on the field and kept me in the game. Today, regular chiropractic care keeps me healthy and active to do the things I love. Chiropractic is safe and effective for all ages. Make chiropractic your first choice to reduce pain, improve your mobility, and feel better naturally.